Hey everyone, this is Meg with another current release game review, and today I'm going to be talking about The Witcher 2 Enhanced Edition for the Xbox 360. Now, the story of The Witcher 2 actually takes place immediately after the event scene in Witcher 1, which was a PC exclusive. I wanted to point that out. But there's a whole prologue section in the beginning that really helps people like me, for example, who are new to the series, to get to grips with the story overall. It fills in a lot of the blanks and gives you a lot of backstory. The whole game was very grown up. It's a bit of a, well, immature phrase to use, but it's the only thing I can think of right now. Nothing is censored at all, which is really great. I like that everything is very, very dark and very realistic, because I feel a lot of fantasies tend to abandon realism and the laws of physics just to be fantastical, and that's not always a good thing. I really love the characters. I just love them. I think that they're very realistic. I love that they're not perfect. I love that they all have different things about them that make them individual or unique. I also think the dialogue is really well written and performed by the voice actors. There's a wonderful moment in Flotsam where Triss Merigold has performed a very big spell and it's exhausted her. And they have to carry her through this woodland while they're being attacked by elves, and it's the funniest scene. I never thought that something that used very flowery language would be that funny and almost current, if that makes any sense. The story is quite slow moving though, and I don't think that's the story's fault in itself. I think that the gameplay tends to detract from the main plotline quite a lot. All in all, there's things about the story I like and things about the story that I don't like as much. I think it's too slow paced. I feel like it's a little bit off in the pacing department. I love the characters, I love the adult themes, I love the darkness of it, and I love the fact that even though it's all of those things, it doesn't make this setting dreary or dull. The gameplay. This was my big bugbear. And here's why. I personally felt that when I was playing the game, I just about get into it. I mean, fully immerse myself in the verse and what was going on, and then suddenly it was almost as if the game propped up a barrier and stopped me, and it was almost always something to do with the gameplay. In one of the earlier levels, I was moving along really quickly and I was enjoying the experience. I couldn't wait to move along with the story, and then I came across one particular side quest involving a lot of Neckers. Before I knew it, my whole experience came to a grinding halt because I couldn't defeat these things, and what was worse, I couldn't figure out what preparation I needed to do. I turned the air purple, but I remember saying that in a tactical RPG, swarming enemies are a little illogical. Preparation is a key factor in this video game, but tactics and methods just fly out of the window when you're up to your eyeballs in foes. Now, don't get me wrong, I discovered the, is it Quen button, and the dodge roll, and I found it a hell of a lot easier, but still, a lot of the elements in game felt so nonsensical to me. For example, why take a potion before the battle? Wouldn't it just be easier to take one during? Alchemy was a complicated affair too. I felt like I spent most of my time mixing potions or trying to find the right ingredients, and all the time I'm thinking, can't I progress now? Can't I get back to the main storyline? This is boring me. I really sound like I have the attention span of a 3-year-old. I swear I don't. I just really started getting a little bit irritated by the constant distractions in The Witcher 2. Side missions and mini-games were the same thing. It was a great addition, but at times it didn't seamlessly sort of blend into the gameplay. It just took you away from the main game. But on the other hand, there were a lot of new additions to these games, which I can't really compare to Witcher 1, but I should imagine really great. There are things that I utilised a lot, like the fact that Geralt can lay traps. He has access to a wider array of weapons, secondary, offensive, defensive, and a whole bunch of new armour. In the Enhanced Edition, I know that there's a lot of extra cutscenes, gameplay, side quests, which are all good things. I personally felt though that the gameplay, though good and tactical and complex, could feel a little directionless at times. This is a problem I had though. After playing the game, I got the very distinct impression that this is the sort of title that would be great for hardcore RPGers. I think that the graphics and the style are just really beautiful and seamless. I love the variety and creativity that you see in all of the visuals, the settings, the costumes. They're elaborate. There's an elfin character, and I can never remember his name. Is it Yorveth? Yorith? Something bizarre and hard to pronounce. He wears a lot of deep greens and reds and navies, and I like the fact that even though the whole story is dark, it's not dreary. I love that in one area you've got a very typical, almost medieval-y style sort of town, and then right outside it you've got an almost, you know, Peter Pan Lost Boys style woodland that's just insanely cool looking. The graphics themselves are crisp and detailed and very realistic. Again, you'll be walking around a location and you'll see the setting sun just beaming through the trees. You see the dust swirling around. I mean, it's just intricate and beautiful. You really know I love something when I can't quite phrase it just right and start talking like this. I cannot praise the graphics and the visual style enough. I think they really have created something unique here that just beautifully reflects the story. Like I said before, I'm so fed up of seeing these grown-up fantasies that are just so dreary, so dark, so black and just ashen. It's just so lifeless. Whereas The Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings, everything is the opposite. It's vibrant, it has colour, it has life. And that doesn't take away from the realism. The soundtrack, I think, is a really wonderful mix of ethnic sounds, vocals, and instruments. I think quite a lot of the action tracks were reminiscent as well of the action tracks in Prince of Persia 2 and 3, which is not a bad thing. The score really covered all bases. I mean, there was a touch of what I thought sounded like the Godfather theme in a track called Sorceresses, and a very traditional folk feeling to another track called A Nearly Peaceful Place. If I'm really honest, the score actually saved the game at points. For me, there would be moments where I would just feel like I wanted to give up. I couldn't make it anymore, and I didn't want to progress anymore, and I'd sort of had enough. And then a cutscene would come along with just an exceptional musical track, and it would just draw me in like a snake charmer with those flutes. Overall, I think the soundtrack was very hypnotic. It drew me in a lot, and I really did love the use of different, sort of, like I said before, ethnic vocals and sounds and themes within the music, but it just all blended together so well. I think it really is a fantastic score overall. So the final thing I'm going to say about The Witcher 2 is, as I said before, the game I think is for the hardcore RPGer. I like RPG games a lot, but I definitely felt like the game was trying to kick me out at several points. The story was great, it was dark, it had fantastically developed characters, the visuals were just beautiful. Sumptuous, I would say. But the gameplay for me was a real source of frustration, and I don't just mean because of the level of challenge. I like a challenge, but this felt illogical to me. And it also diverted away from the main game. It felt like it was, instead of sitting comfortably alongside the main narrative, it was taking away from it. And I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. However, a lot of other people could disagree with me. Hence the reason why I say Witcher 2 is a mixed bag for me. It's a 50-50, but I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that would absolutely love this game. So if you class as a hardcore RPGer, Witcher 2 is for you. So thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to leave your comments and opinions on The Witcher 2 or the entire series, or the books for that matter, in the comment section below. I'll see you all in my next video on Tuesday, which will be a trailer talk. Thanks again, bye! Okay, I need you to be quiet now.
Okay, sorry. Dun, dun, dun.
But you're Blanche, you're in that chair. Soundtrack. I feel like I did this 2 minutes ago. Oh wait, I did. Done. I thought it was the wind going. You can see real nudity. I don't mean heavy rain nudity.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, there's a bucket somehow obscure. Strategically placed to force it. Uranus. My anus.
Yeah. No,
Uranus.
My
anus. Oh, hello. I just found a tubey grip in my trousers.
How did that get there?
I don't know. Sorry, I don't know why I said that so loudly. Bugbear! Alistair, how did your sock find its way into my bedroll? Pluto, Jupiter. I'll see you all in my next video on Tuesday, which will be a crap. It won't be a crap. Give me 2 minutes. I really should prepare more for this. Bit at the end. I never do. I'm such a fool. You're on Facebook. What am I doing? It's because you're distracting me. You're distracting me!